Hi, so my name is Harnish, or here at Wrestling, FTGU, known as H Hood, and I am a professional wrestler. I got into wrestling when I was really young. My dad, he was a fan. He had like a red VHS cassette, and effectively the colour caught my eye and I wanted to know what was on it because we had all these VHS cassettes, and it turned out that on it was pro wrestling that he'd recorded. Being a responsible dad he sat me down next to him and I watched it and I was just blown away. Everything up until that point that I'd ever watched was cartoons and Power Rangers and stuff like that. So this was like, these were real people in a way. You know, you could see them, and I couldn't imagine real people looking like that. You know, they were huge guys, and it just blew me away, and I was hooked ever since. The thing I love most about pro wrestling is storytelling. I love stories that take emotions out of you, whether they make you feel happy or angry or sad or joyful or whatever those emotions are. Being able to get an emotional reaction from an audience, to me, is an art, and that is what draws me to it the most. I love performing, and I love the physical aspect of that performance, you know, because we're big guys and we're running into each other, and there's no way to fake that. And at the same time, we're looking after each other, but also trying to show how much we want to hurt each other. It's just such a contradictory ballet of a performance. This has fascinated me ever since I've got into it. So this training here, effectively here at FTGU, the training we do here is all geared to preparing us to be able to go out there and perform in front of a crowd. And a lot of things go into that, because yeah, you can come in here and learn moves and that's fine, but the priority thing is to learn how to protect yourself and the other person you're in the ring with. But the other thing we do here is we do a quite strenuous warm-up. You've got to be physically fit to do this. But the same kind of fitness is not like jumping on a treadmill for half an hour. It doesn't do the same thing. We're explosive, we're up and down. We're down for like 10 seconds, then all of a sudden you've got to be up on your feet and you're running the ropes. It's an explosive thing. So it's hard to replicate that. So our warm up and our activity for the first half hour is all geared towards getting us prepared for that element of it, which is very intense. And people come and it breaks them. You see people walk out and I stand outside. And I remember the first time I did it, I was in bits. I was throwing up outside. It was horrible. It's an intense warm-up, but it's all geared to prepare you for this and to be able to do this at the highest level. I am very good friends with one of Mike's clients, Dan Davis. I've known him for a long time. We kind of hadn't spoke for a long time, but I had him on social media and saw how well he was doing with Mike. And I was kind of in this weird point where we'd been through this pandemic and I'd missed wrestling for almost 2 years. And I was at this point where, you know, I'm at a certain age where it's now or it's not gonna happen. It's now I've got to push it further. And, you know, whilst my wrestling stuff was okay, it was good, my aesthetic wasn't there, my physical, I didn't feel like I looked like a pro wrestler. And that was something that quite disheartened me. And so I reached out to Dan, who told Mike, and Mike actually, you know, he messaged me. It was awesome. You know, he was cool about it. He got in touch, and you know, it was like he told me how he could help, and we just took it from there. It was baby steps, real baby steps at first. It was very much a case of let's just try this, and then try this, and then try this, and then it just grew. So I do 5 days a week in the gym, my 5-day split. So my split works out to 5 days. I try to get here as often as I can, usually between 1 or 2 times a week. It's a real big challenge because it's a different level of physicality. I mean, after I've trained here, you wake up the next morning and you're like, you feel it. You feel it in your neck, you feel it in your shoulder, back. So it's a big challenge because my intensity in training in the gym, obviously since working and training with Mike and TBF, has never been higher. So it's a challenge just to get up sometimes because you feel rough. But if you don't turn up, you don't get nothing. So currently it's my biggest challenge because, like, you know, going to the gym is a mental game because you've got to be prepared. And my biggest challenge is balancing that with wrestling. If I have an intense show or a match where I've, you know, taken a bit of a pounding, the next day is delts and arms on a Monday. So it could be brutal. And Dan's been there with me a few times where he's like, you know, look great, and I'm like, shoulders all funny, and you know, I can't move the weight I was last week, and yeah, it can be rough, but you've got to be there. I've got a little something's better than nothing, and you've got to have the work ethic. The minimum you should have is a good work ethic. My ultimate goal is to be able to wrestle for a living. That is probably the dream of anyone that gets into wrestling, to be able to do it for a living. I don't mean do it and scrape by. I mean do it as a living, something that I can provide, you know, for my family, and something that I can do every day because it's something I enjoy. I've always believed life's too short to do things you don't enjoy, and to be able to do this for a living would be the ultimate dream, 100%. Just to say that the level of improvement I've found in wrestling, like in the last 7-8 months, like because of the work I've done with Mike, I can't understate how important that work that we've done with him helping with my diet, getting me on point, and the attention to detail that he's paid. He's clearly thought everything through about what I'm doing, even down to my recovery. I struggled to get through my recovery because I never settled down, and he's always on me, you know? So although the gym and the wrestling and all this is separate, they're the same. They're the two, they work together to make me better. And without the work that Mike has done with me, I couldn't do this now at the level I'm doing and at the level I'm hoping to get to. It's just changed everything. It's been a complete game changer. Like the way I feel, the way I move, everything. It's just been a whole game changing experience. So yeah, I owe him a lot.